Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Simple Immersive English Podcast. Okay, so hello. Special guest, can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, my name is Sionainn. I'm Kate's twin.
Yes, everyone. So, a twin is a sibling who has the same birthday. So, Sionainn and I are both exactly the same age, and we were born on exactly the same day. So, we are twins. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Maybe that can be another episode later. But today, we are here to talk about some fun experience that Sionainn had a few weeks ago. So Sionainn, what is this experience?
Well, I went to Berlin, which is a city in Germany, and I went with some friends who like to go dancing, and we went to this really exclusive dance club called Berghain.
Berghain. Is it B-I-R-G?
I think it's Berghain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first club I've ever been to, the first dance club. And apparently this is the best one in the entire world.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about nightclubs, which is another word for a dance club, maybe. Are they the same?
I think for the most part, they're the same. I'm not sure.
Yes, in normal circles, for most groups of people, I think if you say nightclub or dance club, it will mean the same thing. But maybe people who are really into that scene, maybe they know the difference. So if you are a hardcore clubber, please tell us what is the difference between a nightclub and a dance club. Anyway, also a disco. Disco is another term, maybe an older term, but anyway. Yeah, so I had heard about this nightclub that Sionainn went to, Berghain, before, because I remember in high school there was a website or an app that you could use, and it would try to guess whether or not you could get in, whether or not you would be allowed to go into the club. And so, Sionainn, were you allowed?
Yes. So I was very nervous about getting in because it has this reputation.
A lot of people think that it's like this, that
it's very hard to get in. And so the advice that I found online was to wear all black. And it's very, very, very cold in Berlin in December when I was there. And I was wearing a bright red coat, and my friend was wearing a bright pink coat, and my other friend was wearing a green coat, and everyone else around us in line wore an all black clothing. And so I was concerned, or I was worried, that they would turn us away and say that we were not allowed in because we weren't dressed appropriately.
Yeah, so Sionainn was really standing out from the crowd, waiting to get into Berghain. So maybe let's go over the rundown of everything that happened from, well, maybe not everything, but the general layout of what happens when you go to a nightclub, or specifically this nightclub, which is very famous. So the first thing you did is you got there, and what time did you arrive?
We got in line at midnight, which is also known as 12 a.m., and the line was very long, and we got in line, and my friend Bo ate a hot dog from this man who was selling hot dogs.
Was he walking up and down the line, or did
No.
he just had a stand.
He had a stand.
Yeah.
And so we drank mulled wine.
Some street food in the line.
Yes. And they love mulled wine in Germany. At least that was my experience. And that is when wine is poured into a pot and cooked with spices like cinnamon, and sometimes they put orange in it. And it was warm. So we waited in line.
Was it good?
It was good, yes.
And did you drink it out of a paper cup or?
Yeah, we drank it out of a paper cup.
So you threw it away?
Yeah.
You didn't have to carry the mug with you?
Yeah, we didn't carry the mug.
Okay,
So we waited in line for over 1 hour. So more than 1 hour we waited in the cold and in the dark.
What was the vibe like in the line?
Everyone was very excited and chatting and talking with each other.
So people who didn't know each other were talking?
No.
No.
People only talked with the people they knew.
Oh, okay.
Except there was this really tall man behind us. I bet he was 6 feet 5 inches at least. And he was kind of scary. And while we were getting close to the front of the line, 2 people cut in front, which means they skipped the line. They didn't wait in line. They just got in line in the very front.
Oof.
And the scary man behind us was very, very upset about it.
Oof.
And he looked at us because we were standing in front of him and the people had cut in line in front of us. And he said...
Directly right in front of you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he asked us...
I bet that they saw you with your colorful coats. And
Yeah.
they thought, that's where we cut the line.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, anyway.
And he turned to us and he was facing us and he was very scary. And in English, he asked us, "Are you just going to let these people cut in front of you?" And my friend in the pink coat looked up at him and said, kind of jokingly, "I am a coward." And it was very funny. And it was very good that they said that because I didn't know what to say. And he was like, "Okay, come with me." And he brought us with him and we got to be in front of those people. And quite frankly, I didn't really care that they got to stand in front of us, but it was very fun that this man brought us with him.
That is so funny.
And then from then on, we were friends.
So when you cut the people who cut you, did you go directly in front of them or did you go a few people up?
Well, to clarify, we're not actually hurting when we say cut.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Cutting is a slang term, which means someone got in line before you. And the word comes from cutting the line, as in the line was much shorter for them, if that makes sense. Like imagine scissors cut, so something is shorter.
And cutting in line is maybe one of the worst things you can do as a kid in school. If you cut in line, everyone will hate you for that. So it's a big no-no.
Especially since we had all been waiting in the cold for an hour.
Yeah,
but
it's not fair.
I didn't really care that much. But the man behind us, who was very big and scary, did. And I would rather do what he wanted than not. So we went in front of the people.
Right in front of them.
Yes.
Did they say anything?
Well, they were saying that we were party poopers.
Oh, man.
Which means that you're...
Party pooper, another good slang.
Yeah, this slang means that you, instead of being happy to be at the party, you are upset and negative.
You make the party not fun anymore.
Yeah.
A party pooper.
I think they were just upset that they were caught.
Yes, I think so too.
And they felt embarrassed.
Yes.
Anyway, so we get to the front of the line, and I was very worried. Our hearts were pounding because if they didn't let us in, it felt very personal. Like we weren't cool enough.
Oh, no.
And they didn't even bat an eye. They just asked us how many people were in our group, and then they let us in.
That's amazing. Because normally, as we said, this club, Berghain, is very exclusive, so not everyone gets in. So it's a big deal that Sionainn got in without any trouble at all.
And we had to pay 26 euros
Oof.
to get in.
Oh, man. Wait, really quickly. So the person who stands at the door of the nightclub, don't they have a fun name?
Yes, they are called a bouncer.
A bouncer.
Which means basically they can let you in or let you out. They have all the power. They can basically say, yes, you can come in, or no, you cannot come in. And what they say is the law.
Yeah, the bouncer is a big job. And normally the bouncer is also a big person because they have to enforce the rules.
These people were not exceptionally large.
Oh, they weren't big bouncers?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we got in, and we had to go through security where they looked through all of our stuff and made sure we weren't carrying weapons and whatever. We weren't allowed to bring, obviously, any alcohol in because they want you to buy theirs. And
so with the price of 26 euros,
you just get entrance.
There's nothing included.
Nothing included,
Okay.
except for stickers on your camera phone.
Oh.
So you can't take any pictures because they have a
Okay.
strict no picture policy.
But they let you keep your phone with you.
Yes.
So you can carry your phone, just no pictures.
No pictures.
Okay.
And nobody had their phone out for obvious reasons because no pictures.
Yeah.
And so we get in and we go to the coat rack, and everyone is immediately taking off all of their outside clothes.
Their jackets.
And underneath they have very few clothes on.
Oh.
And the clothes that they do have on are made out of black leather.
Oh, man.
And it was very shocking because it was so cold outside. And now everyone is wearing the equivalent of a leather bathing suit
Oh, man.
inside.
And leather, maybe many of you know, but leather is the skin of the cow, the material, the clothing that's made out of cows. Anyway.
And so we go to the coat rack, and I have 5 layers on.
Oh, man.
And they make me...
5 layers of clothing.
Yes, so
Yeah.
lots of clothes. And I was shocked because everyone who worked there looked like very cohesive.
Cohesive. Like very, very the same. Very, everything comes together to be the same.
And they had these haircuts that were very straight. Like they had bangs kind of that were very blunt and straight. And then they had the sides of their heads shaved. And they were all in black.
Like a square across the forehead.
Very angular. And they all...
Did they look scary also or not?
They weren't scary, but they were very cool. And they knew that they were working at the best club in the world.
Yeah, imagine. It must be very hard to get hired there.
Yeah. So we go up the stairs and we're in the club.
So the dancing happens on the second floor, or were you...
There's 2 different dance places.
Okay.
But we mostly stayed on the second floor, but there's also a 3rd floor. But we didn't like the music as much, so we stayed on the second floor.
So first floor, which is where you walk in, is just the storage room for your coats, right?
I think so. I'm not sure how much...
Okay, it's okay.
It's supposed to be a secret.
Okay.
Although I do know that
sorry.
they're not allowed to have pictures, but I'm assuming you're allowed to talk about Berghain.
We'll be vague. We won't give too much detail.
Because you should go.
And maybe Sionainn wants to go back one day, so...
Yeah.
Okay, we won't get blacklisted. Blacklist is when you do something and someone writes your name down on the blacklist and says, this person cannot come here anymore, so we don't want to get blacklisted.
No.
So
But
kind of serious topic.
Very serious, yes. And everyone was dancing in their little tiny leather outfits. And there was this one person in front of me who was awesome. And they were wearing this really amazing... I don't even know if I'll be able to explain it. Basically, I loved everyone's outfits. And I loved the music. My friend Bo told me that I looked like I was just there to dance to the music. And I think
you were.
And I was. I was just there to dance. And we did. And we danced until 4:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. So 4 hours Oh
And by
no,
then,
but you waited. So how long did you wait in line?
we waited in line for 1 hour.
Okay.
So we got in at 1 a.m.
So you danced for 3.5 hours.
Yes, and I was very tired by the end of
And
it.
can you tell us what the music sounded like?
Well,
You can just demonstrate. You can show us.
it had a big beat, like oonts, oonts, oonts.
Yeah.
And after a few minutes, I decided I wanted to put headphones in, like, as in little plugs, little things in my ear.
Squishy little foam that goes in your ears.
So the music would be quieter to protect my hearing.
Earplugs, we say.
So I couldn't hear all of the details of the music.
Oh, I see. It was muffled. It sounded muffled.
It did sound great, and I didn't want to hurt my ears, so that was good of me.
That's good.
But the music was great. It was very repetitive, and they say when you dance at these kinds of clubs that you kind of get into a trance.
Yes.
And I definitely felt that.
A trance. So like
I lost track of time.
Yeah.
I lost track of I was just
all you
dancing.
know is dancing. You don't think when you're in a trance. I thought it was also interesting. We were talking about it before, and you said that some people were a little bit older than you expected.
Yeah, there was one person who we thought had been there since he was young, and he was probably 60. So it was cool to see lots of people of all different ages and different backgrounds. It was lots of different people were all there just to dance.
Yeah, so I was really surprised about that because I thought that the dance club would only have young people in it, but it's cool to see that there's so many people who want to come dance at Berkheim.
And then, after we were done, we got our jackets and we took an Uber back to our house, but right next door to the apartment, sorry, it was not a house, it was an apartment, there was a restaurant, a kebab restaurant, that was open all day and all night.
24 hours.
And we went in, and the man who was working there was very nice, and we ate a lot of French fries.
Ooh, yummy.
And then we went to bed at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, man.
And I slept for a very long time.
And then how did you feel the next day?
The next day, I think I flew to see my family.
Oh, you
and
came
I
to
got
see us the
very
next day.
cranky, which means I was grumpy.
Oof. Did your legs feel sore? Did they hurt?
No, because my dance moves were not very intensive.
Oh, okay.
It was a lot of stomping and swaying and it didn't require a lot of strenuous activity.
Yes,
it was very simplistic.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't move that much when you were dancing.
No, I did not.
Okay, so I want to ask you, what is one piece of advice for someone who wants to go to a nightclub, but they've never been before? What would you tell them? Because this was your first time going to a nightclub.
Well, I went with friends who I really like and feel safe with, and I would recommend going with friends that you like and feel safe with.
Yeah. For your first time at least, go with some people that you want to go with.
Yes. And try not to care about what anyone thinks of you or how you're dancing, because this is an experience for your enjoyment, and so you can and should dance however you want to dance, and you can and should wear whatever you want to wear.
Yes.
And have however great a time you want to.
That is so nice.
And also just be aware of your surroundings and who is around you, because, I mean, I don't know much about clubs, and so you should do your own research beforehand to make sure you're going to a club where you'll feel safe.
Yes, because you want to have fun. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Sionainn.
Thank you for having me.
A question we should ask to our listeners? Maybe in the comments, tell us, have you been to a nightclub if you have been to a nightclub many times, what was your first nightclub, or what was the favorite nightclub that you ever went to?
That's a great question.
That is our question to you all. Let's make a list of all the best nightclubs in the comment section so we can all go and dance.
See you there.
Yes, see you there. Okay.
Bye.
Also, of course, please tell me, was anything too hard? Do you have more questions? Anything like that. Please leave that too. But for now, let's say thank you, Sionainn.
Thank you.